You're watching 11 Alive Morning News. 11 minutes of nonstop news starts now.
First in your 11 minutes of nonstop news, a federal judge will hear a lawsuit today brought by 3 Georgia families.
They are asking the courts to pause a new state law on gender-affirming care for minors. The controversial legislation just went into effect. Ariana Manise joining us live now with a look at the case. Ariana?
The families who filed this federal lawsuit, they want the courts to step in and stop the gender-affirming care ban against minors. Now, the families who filed this lawsuit represent 4 transgender girls. Also, a plaintiff on this lawsuit is Transparent, an organization that supports trans rights. The lawsuit named state health officials as defendants, and parents in this lawsuit, they're arguing this newly enacted law violates their right to make decisions about their children's health care. They also want the judge to block the law, but supporters argue that this law prevents children from making decisions that they could later regret. We spoke to one of the attorneys representing the families who tells us that these families have considered leaving the state of Georgia to ensure their children have access to gender-affirming care. Now, today's hearing will be about a motion that's pushing the judge to block enforcement of the law while this legal process plays out. Back to you.
Ariana, thank you. Continuing your 11 minutes in nonstop news, we've learned new details following a deadly shooting in southwest Atlanta.
It happened about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Police rushed to the Grove Adams Park apartment complex. That's on DeLoe Drive, and they found a man's body there. This morning, the Fulton County Medical Examiner identifies him as 24-year-old Chasen Homer. As soon as we get more details on this homicide, we will bring them to you right here and on 11alive.com.
A 2-year-old has a long road to recovery ahead after her family's lawyer says a shooting left her paralyzed from the waist down. Just yesterday, we spoke with the toddler's mother, and she says her daughter Harmony is still in the hospital, but she's hanging in there. DeKalb County police are still looking into last month's triple shooting on Maypop Lane in Decatur that left Harmony and 2 other people injured.
This morning, a 15-mile stretch of the Chattahoochee is still closed after a sewage spill was discovered late last week. Fulton County officials have been working to clean up the water now for days, but E. coli levels are still high. It's caused issues for some businesses along the river during yesterday's busy July 4th holiday. This morning, we know crews are working to mitigate the E. coli levels. The river could reopen fully within the next few days. And that was a look at your Wednesday morning headlines.
Ariana had a little bit of a foggy, humid haze behind her. Chesley, it's steamy out there.
Yeah, it is steamy. We do have some low-level cloudiness around as well. There's some fog. It's not as dense as that would issue a dense fog advisory or anything like that, but we do have some fog around the area, so be on the lookout as you're driving around. Folks, you can see the rain up here to the north. It's a few moderate pockets. You got some heavier pockets in here, just south of Higdon right there where you see that orange. Some heavy rain coming down. The lightning strikes are further off to the north. We had a few over our area. When I say a few, 1 or 2 is all I counted so far this morning. But this staying up to the north. In fact, this is lifting to the north as well. The only really game we have in town. But an isolated shower or thunderstorm could pop up at any time today, a little bit more likely after about 2 o'clock. Temperature-wise, we're in the 70s just about everywhere you look. 72 in Covington, Conyers at 73, Stockbridge at 75 degrees starting off this morning. You're at Noonan at 71, 72 degrees in Chattahoochee Hills. You're at 70 degrees right now at Powder Springs, in Mapleton at 72, Hiram at 70, 70 over toward Ackworth, 74 degrees up toward Roswell. Tucker in DeKalb County, you're at 76, 76 also in downtown Atlanta. So a mild start for us, and muggy, some would say, right? An umbrella needs to be included today. We have a 40% chance for those scattered showers and thunderstorms once we get into the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies where we don't have the rain, and 87 for your afternoon high. The humidity today will feel like the upper 80s, so not as hot. But any breaks in those clouds yielding some sunshine will boost that temperature up and make it feel pretty hot, pretty steamy on the outside for this afternoon. Now we're going to watch for thunderstorms to develop, especially once we get to the afternoon. Got a stationary boundary that's trying to leave the area. It's trying to get out of the way, and eventually it will, especially as we head toward the weekend. Today we are under a level 1 threat as far as severe weather goes. That means a marginal risk for severe weather. An isolated strong to severe thunderstorm is possible. It's really the winds that we'll be concerned about. Winds up to 58, maybe 60 miles per hour. When does that take place? increase again after 2 o'clock is when we'll start to see some of these showers popping up with some embedded thunderstorms around. Lose that threat once we lose the daytime heating, and then do it all over again for your Thursday. We're going to start you off with partly sunny skies, remain that way at least through early afternoon, but after 2 or 3 o'clock is when we'll start to see some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms breaking out once again. Temperatures back at 90 degrees for tomorrow. We'll stay there for the rest of the week and into the upcoming weekend.
This morning, we're learning more details for the memorial service for Dr. Christine King Ferris, the older sister of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
King Ferris will be remembered during a 3-day celebration of her life. She will be honored at Spelman College Tuesday, where she worked as an educator for decades. Then next weekend, Ferris will lie in repose at Ebenezer Baptist Church. Her celebration of life is set for Sunday, July 16th. She died last week at the age of 95.
This just in the last 30 minutes, we've learned that the Teamsters Union, which represents roughly 340,000 workers, walked away earlier this morning from the negotiating table after they were offered what they're calling an unacceptable offer that, quote, did not address members' needs. Here's a look showing the moments after that offer was unanimously rejected. Currently, they're pushing for higher pay, better working conditions as part of this new contract before the current one expires at the end of the month. The Atlanta-based company UPS responded with a statement saying, quote, the union has a responsibility to remain at the table. Refusing to negotiate, especially when the finish line is in sight, creates significant unease among employees and customers. And they go on to say they're proud of their offer and are asking that the Teamsters come back to the table to finalize this deal. Earlier this month, workers authorized a strike that could happen as soon as August 1st if a final agreement is not reached.
We are also expecting an update on how many people flew in and out of Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. You are taking a live look outside the airport as we wrap up the July 4th holiday travel period. They were expecting around 2.5 million people over that 6-day time span. This is some video from Friday. We were out there. It was so busy and hectic out there for travel. On this day alone, TSA says around the country, they screened more than 2.8 million travelers. That is an all-time record since the agency was founded in 2001.
You may have a few leftovers in your fridge. Well, as you think about maybe enjoying them for lunch, think about this heated debate going on right now on the 11 Alive Facebook page about hot dogs. Take a look. We asked if you could only have one topping, would it be relish, mustard, ketchup, or onions? The opinion's strong. Lanita says mustard. It's a must. Connie says her husband chooses mustard. He picks ketchup. She's mustard. Yasmin saying, where's the chili? She wants that option. Kevin says mayo, stirring the debate even further. And David says, listen, this is America. I'm not picking one. I'm putting them all on. My kids, plain.
What?
Plain, 4 for 4, plain. You can weigh in on the 11 Alive Facebook page. It's weird, Chesley. I don't know why.
It's all that seasoning you're putting on it. They don't need anything, you know. That's sure all the seasoning hurries up, you know. That salt and pepper that you put on it. I don't know. 81 degrees will be our temperature by noon today. We'll have off and on scattered showers around. It's after 2 o'clock that we'll start to experience a few of those thunderstorms. We'll give it a 40% chance. 87 degrees will be the afternoon high temperature today. By 6, we're looking at 85 degrees for the temperature. A little west breeze at about 6 miles per hour, but look out for those thunderstorms.
Thanks, everybody, for making a great 4th tradition for the AJC Peachtree Road Race. I got the chance to catch up with Charles Langot here, the elite men's winner. Also had a great time at the start line with Aisha. Here's another pic with the rest of the crew. What a day. Chesley was at Cardiac Hill all morning, caught up with so many familiar faces. Selfies with Linda Phillips and John Ballard. Boy, it was busy.
And Mayor Andre Dickens hit the course for the very first time this year. And also some of our 11 Alive team who ran in the race on the runner cam. They had the equipment. They were hyped up. Christy Diaz, who you see right there, also running since she was age 11. Jerry Carnes was out at the finish line taking some selfies with the 11 Alive team and some other participants in the meadows. It was a great day.
Smiling in the meadow. All those happy faces. Yeah. They made it to the finish line, got in the meadow, got that t-shirt, got their hydration. Everybody was happy on the 4th.
Oh, look at that beautiful shot.
Yeah, look at that shot this morning. We hand off to the Today Show. Hope you have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning.